Welcome to Amusings with Chelsea and Angie.
I'm Chelsea.
I'm Angie. Yay, it's still hotter than Hades, but it is freaking hot.
It is, very much.
But it's not humid, which is important.
No, it's just dry, hot. No rain in the future forecast.
Yeah, that is bad.
Hot. I mean, we're already in a stage drought.
I know this is bad, but when I watch the world news and somebody's bitching and complaining because my house flooded, the rain, I'm like, well, shoot that shit down here because we are in drought and our plants, my yard is brown.
My vegetable garden died. That's how bad it got. Between that, the crickets, and your favorite grasshoppers.
I hate grasshoppers.
I know you do.
We're going to end up drinking pee-pee water again.
Ugh.
Why don't they just make a pipe that just pipeline that shit down here?
Definitely. Well, and there's some states right now that are seeing record highs since, I think, the 1800s and stuff is what it's projecting at. And I actually watched a newsreel this morning in regards to
newsreel, old timey,
where Florida, right off the Florida Keys, one of the buoys checked the temperature water at 101, which is the highest it's ever been.
Doesn't that mean sharks have to go lower, deeper to keep cool?
Yes,
otherwise,
because their
aren't
body,
they going to basically cook themselves?
Pretty much. So they've got to stay in the cooler temperatures and the depths, but they can only go so far.
Where is your little cuckoo fish?
Oh, my cuckoo fish. Hey, guys, by the way, it is Shark Week. I got to talk about my sharks. There is a wonderful
documentary.
This app.
Oh, follow, yes.
Yes, where you can go and purchase a bracelet of any sort of animal.
Not any.
There's certain selection. I'll go ahead and say them. There's sea turtle, lion, shark, elephant, penguin, a polar bear, a giraffe, and a dolphin. And what they do is they go and they do geotags on these animals to help understand the way that they live, their traveling, reproduction, stuff like that. But it's really cool because you get this awesome little bracelet with a kind of a characteristic of the animal, and you get to log into this app and sign up, and you get your animal. And so mine's a hammerhead shark named Edie. She's in Andor's, which is one of the largest islands in Bahamas, and that's actually where a lot of the great hammerhead sharks are located. So she kind of sticks around there, and I get to track her and watch her every day and everything else like that. And it's just so interesting that Shark Week, is going on right now. And they actually had an awesome episode last night where they were talking about monster hammerhead sharks and killer instinct. It was actually Tuesday night. I'm sorry, not last night. And they were basically talking about how these hammerhead sharks are starting to eat other sharks. Some of them are. And so it's really cool and getting to see them. And they're actually off the coast of Andor's. And I'm like, oh, what if that's my shark? That one has a tag on it. Maybe it's mine. It's kind of cool to see that stuff. But again,
nope, I'm looking right at cocaine sharks. I'm guessing
I haven't got to watch that one yet. That one's on. That's what I'm watching tonight. I'm still catching up. We were watching the Florida sharks, Blood and Water, because a lot of the sharks are coming closer to the land and stuff. And to me, you and I have both said it before that these people are getting upset.
Show 'em fault.
You're stepping into their territory. It's not the other way around. Yes, they are coming up from those areas, but that has to do a lot with the climate change and some interesting weird stuff that's going on. And I'll tell you, these shows that have come out so far for Shark Week, I love the Jaws versus Meg, kind of seeing how that if there was ever a battle like that, who would win. Kind of cool. The serial killer sea attacks.
Did they say who would win? I would guess that the Meg would win because it's huge.
So the Megalodon, they said, would ultimately win for it was actually huge and speed, and it was known to eat other sharks. However, the Megalodon went extinct, and the great white didn't. The great white's still here today. So it's kind of interesting. If enough great whites, I think, maybe attacked at once, which it is not uncommon to see them to synchronize-ish. It is uncommon, but they did a scenario where it would be like two of them. The Megalodon still would have won for those, but the great white had a lot of agility, speed, being able to turn faster, obviously, than a Megalodon would, because he's got to have time to turn his body versus, a great white that's can. Yeah, and then they were talking about the Red Sea attacks, about how sharks have been in the Red Sea area, and that 2 people so far in the past 2 years have been killed by shark attacks. And I'm like,
I'm going in the water.
Yeah.
Stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to.
So to speak. And if you're going out to the sea, be cautious and be looking for that. It's not just about having fun out there. It's about you're in their territory.
Yeah, stick to a lake or a pond.
And it doesn't help that, you're feeding fish. If you're feeding these fish, what's going to come around?
Fish.
A shark. A lot of great episodes. There is a lot of controversy going on the Facebook page for Shark Week for 2023, because Jason Momoa is supposed to be the host for Shark Week, and unfortunately there's not a lot of video of him doing Shark Week, and you can imagine why. And a lot of people have come on there and went to his defense. Well, it's probably due to the protests going on for, help me out here.
Oh, the SAG-AFTRA?
Yes.
The actors' strike?
The actors' strike and writers' strike. So they probably didn't get a lot of filming from him. But then again,
I thought they filmed this weeks ago. Did they not?
They did, or at least they should have. But the thing I don't get is they're filming overseas. And remember what you said about the people overseas for like...
They're in England.
Well, in England, okay. Does that apply for like New Zealand and stuff like that maybe too? I don't know.
But there usually isn't... They usually do a special with that person, and then the rest are all these documentaries. So I don't know what everybody's making a big hoo-hoo badoo-badoo.
Because there wasn't one full episode. He's having these mini... It's like a commercial in between shows.
Oh.
Where it's like, hey, I'm going to talk for 44 seconds. Talk to this person. And we're going to have a questionnaire with these kids. I'm going to pour chum on my head type thing. Yeah. So, but so far, great documentaries for Shark Week. Just as far, again, it's only Thursday, so we still got 2 more days of Shark Week. But again, all these are available on Discovery Plus.
They also have stuff on Nat Geo they did their shark thing maybe last week or the week before.
Yes, and then of course Disney Plus also has some great Shark Week stuff in there too.
That's where.
Oh, okay. Yeah. My bad.
Woo-cha!
Yep, high five on me. So, but yeah, that's been my week for the most part. I did tell you I did finally see Mission Impossible 7, and we are going to deep dive into that at another time.
Not really a deep dive. It's just...
Well, it'll be a rant for Angie and a little bit of a dive for me.
It'll be a super rant.
I was really bummed out. Barbie was just sold out at all the theaters.
I got to see it. And I liked it. I cried a little bit, but I was happy. I liked it. Yes, I did.
So hopefully this weekend I'll get to see it if we get everything caught up with the house. Because, we're in the finishing stages of the remodel now. So hopefully maybe this weekend.
That's like me saying, I'm going to get my bathroom finished. Do you know who still doesn't have their bathroom finished? That would be me.
Okay, well, I need it finished before school starts. I need my house back in order.
I need to paint the corner thing, the molding. Yeah,
molding.
Still have not done that.
You'll get there. I'm painting a bathroom tonight, so... And then I should be able to bring in my tub, toilet, and vanity, and I'll be done. Yay! And it's just my kitchen for the countertop. And
Are you going to the lake this weekend?
no, I'm not.
Oh, okay.
We're staying here to work.
Work it, baby, work it. And if you flip it and reverse it. So that's kind of been my bit. You, however, have your favorite show. Let's do it. Well, one of them.
Stars on Mars. Stars on Mars.
Boop, bop, boop, boopy, boop, boop. Okay, so.
A lot of stuff happened.
So last week, it ended, like, weird. It was just, like, Lance going, oh, that's the last nice thing I'm gonna say to Ariel for the rest of the night. And then it was just like, he's such a jerk. He's a big baby. And then it ended. So, we start off, everybody was, milling around, making breakfast and talking about missing their families, and then the alarms went off. Bloop, bloop, bloop. And it was time to choose a base commander.
Uh-oh, there we go.
Yeah. Now, what I noticed that nobody else seemed to notice was that when they were showing the shots of people, hanging out and getting along and blah, 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 AI announced that it was time to choose a base commander. The computer, twitched. You could tell that it glitched.
Ruh-roh.
Yeah, and everybody was just like, okay. So then Andy Richter got picked as base commander. Everybody was like, okay. Then they have their chores that they have to do, and Andy figured that Kat and Paul needed to get, a mission or another challenge under their belt, since the three of them were the newbies. So he had them go get what is called a Pelican package that was cast off when the capsule fell.
Yeah.
So they were like, okay. So they suited up and they went out in the rover with direct.
Dun, dun,
so they didn't have anybody in their ear going, hi, now you need to turn left. No, they just had directions. So they're out there trying to find this package, and everybody else is hanging out in the hab, and again, the camera switching around, and you see different screens, and you can clearly see glitching.
Something's going on.
The picture will go, in the kitchen. Andy asked Ariel, hey, what should I be doing as the base commander? And she's, writing this list. She's like, well, you need to be very, detail-oriented and write all the notes. Marshawn and Rhonda were wrestling. Well, she's trying to stay in a good place because she's missing her daughter.
Oh, okay. Understand.
Yeah. And then outside, Paul and Kat found the little Pelican case. Yay. And they're like, oh, this is really important. I wonder what's in it. And they went ahead and opened it. And it turned out that it was Kat's mani-pedi set. And she's like, I was wondering what happened to that. And he's like, are you kidding me? I thought it was going to be like a steak or something. And it's your nail set. And she's like, ooh, we're going to have spa day when we get back to the hab. And he's like, you can do a pedicure right now. And she's like, I know. So they get in the rover and head back to the hab, and they go to the door, and they're banging on the door, and they're like, hey, something's wrong. The door's messed up. And then all of a sudden the alarms go off again. Whoop, whoop. And the computer is downloading a virus. You see that, it clearly says downloading a virus on the screen, in case anybody was wondering. Yeah. The AI said that the base commander has to pick a mission specialist. So Andy picked Adam. He's like, I thought we had really good rapport, and he seems like a really good guy, and I think we get along, so I think he would be a good mission specialist.
Fair enough.
So the AI tells them that the instructions for the challenge are in the airlock area. And so Andy and Adam head towards the airlock to go get them, and then the computer locks them in.
Dun, dun.
Yeah. And then it goes, you are all going to die. Ha, ha, ha. Yeah, that's when it starts doing the crazy voice.
Oh, God.
Yeah. It says they
Smart House took over.
They have 1 hour before it opens the outside door where Kat and Paul are and let them in to the airlock, therefore killing Adam and Andy.
Run.
Yeah. So Mission Commander Shatner comes on the screen in the command center and says, "The AI has downloaded a virus and can't be trusted. Andy and Adam have 3 separate ways to get the computer to reboot.
Dun,
Don't
dun.
trust the AI." Yeah, okay, so whatever. So Andy, Adam did not do anything this entire time.
That sounds
Andy read the instructions.
Okay.
So there were 3 different ways. The first way was to bike. So Lance, Marshawn, and Rhonda had to ride 20 miles
Well, that's nothing for Lance.
in the time before the hour is up.
Oh.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Ariel,
I mean, he could probably still do it.
Portia, and Tinashe had to play a musical keyboard game with the AI. They had to figure out the notes that it was playing in the correct order and then figure out the popular song that it was scrambling.
Okay.
And again, within that hour, before the hour is up. And outside, Kat and Paul had to open 2 breaker boxes and shut the power down. Problem is, there are a shit ton of screws, and they have 1 manual screwdriver. Yeah.
Oh, no. Lord forbid if one of them has carpal tunnel.
I know. And it just... Paul was like, "I don't know what the deal is. These screws are like a foot thick. I'm keep screwing and it's taking forever." And I was like, it doesn't help that you're in these big suits and shit.
Yeah.
So something Andy realized. So he goes, "You don't understand. If they don't get this done within the time limit, both of us could be done." And Adam, plain face, no emotion whatsoever, looks at Andy and goes, "Oh no, I'm safe. I'm the mission specialist." And Andy goes, "Huh?" And Adam goes, "Yeah, the mission base commander is head of the challenge, and he can be up for elimination, but I'm the mission specialist. We're automatically safe." Yeah, well, Andy did not know that. And Andy, in his little confessional, goes, "That's when I realized that Adam was just looking out for number 1 and playing the game."
Dun, dun,
And I was
dun,
like,
dun.
yeah.
Where you been?
Yeah, I don't think people are just nice. So Lance and the bike team have 5.5 miles left to go with 12 minutes left. They
Go,
were
Lance,
crushing
go.
it. For he would do 2, and then Rhonda would do 1, Marshawn would do 1. He would do 2.
Because he's conditioned for
Yes.
that. He
So-
probably could have done it by himself, to be honest with you, though.
Well, that's what they said. And he's like, I'm not doing the
I don't
whole
have
thing.
to do that no
Right.
more. I do it for enjoyment, not for...
He's like, I do it for my brain, So Tinashe and the music team, in their confessional, they're like, I'm going to be honest, we started to get competitive with the other teams. We wanted to finish first. And the problem with doing that is that you make mistakes.
Exactly.
So I'm like, just focus on your task. Don't worry about anybody else. It's
Agree.
like when you're running, don't keep looking back.
because it slows you down.
So they're wanting to beat the other teams, but they aren't really getting anywhere. Kat and Paul, like I said, only have the 1 screwdriver.
So are they taking turns at trying to unscrew it?
No, Paul was doing the whole... She's like, I'm going to go see if I can find something else to maybe open.
Help.
Yeah, like I was thinking about, the thing on the inside of a fingernail clipper.
Yeah.
Because she went and got that mani-pedi thing.
Yeah.
So I was like, go get that. She found something, but I don't know if they ended up using it. But they were able to open 1 box and shut it down, and they went and moved on to the next box.
Yay.
But they didn't really need to, because Lance and the bike team made the 20 miles, and the AI just reset. And then the music team was like, we had one more note, and then we would have gotten it. And I looked at my sister and I said, okay, they had one more note to go, but then they still had to figure out what song it was.
Yeah.
So even when it started playing the song in the correct order, it kept going. They were like, I don't know what that is. What is that? And then the AI played the actual song, and it was Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley.
Never gonna give you
and
up.
And Tinashe goes, oh my God, were we just Rick rolled on Mars? And I was like, yes, you were. You were Rick rolled. So then it was time to...
Elimination?
Yes.
Elimination.
And they're gone. Oh my God. So Adam and Andy went to the airlock again, this time to not get locked in, but to discuss who was going to be in the bottom 3. Andy stated right off the bat that Paul and Kat shouldn't be in the bottom because, A, they were new, which really wasn't a reason, but B, my feeling is that he's the one that sent them on that
mission,
that little job to do.
Yeah.
So the reason they were out there was because of him.
Yep.
He was like, they shouldn't be on the bottom. And Lance's team should be safe because they're the ones that...
save the IT.
Right. And so he thinks that Tinashe, Portia, and Rhonda should be in the bottom. And the reason that he wants Rhonda in the bottom 3 is because they had been discussing, and she was saying that she missed her 18-month-old baby girl.
Yeah.
And he figured that, putting her in the bottom, if she really wanted to stay, she can plead her case. Otherwise, she can,
go home.
Go home. And Adam
Dun-dun.
doesn't want to put Portia and Tinashe in the bottom because they're friends and they have that little...
click.
Alliance-y thing.
They have a click.
They do. And so he tells Andy, he's like, the girls were only one note off from solving the...
they were still last, and first is first, is last is last.
And other than that, he had no other justification for keeping them off the bottom.
Correct.
But Andy pusses out...
Of course.
And goes, okay, let's go. And he puts Kat, Paul, and Rhonda in the bottom 3. And the look on Kat's face was like, I'm gonna rip your throat out,
you mojo dojo,
you piece of garbage, because I thought you had my back. And so they make their case. Kat was like, I have been fighting my entire life to be where I am. And I'm having to do it all over again here. So she's like mad crying.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. And he's like,
dramatization.
Andy's like, I think that when Kat gets mad at you, Kat stays mad at you. And I'm like, yeah, you're toast.
Yep.
And Paul was like, yeah, me too. We just got here and I want to stay. I want to be part of this team. And Rhonda was like, yeah, I want to go home. I want to, I think I did a lot of good here and you got a good team. I really miss my baby. And so she decided she was going to go home and they let the other 2 in. Andy was giving her, Kat her patch and she's like, yeah, give me that, old man, and walked off. And Andy was like, I think I'm in trouble. And I'm like, I think you are too. And then, it ended with Rhonda with the flare signaling, pick me up. Which, by the way, when they were outside, when Paul and Kat were outside, you could see the shadow of the crew. And I poked my sister and I said, hey, see the shadow? And she's like, what? And I was like, there's a crewman, so in case anybody was wondering. We didn't really get a good idea of what's happening next week. Other than they have to do something kind of blindfolded, except not blindfolded. The
visor.
Sun shield is down on their screen, on their helmets, to where they can't see anything.
Limited seeing, yep.
And somebody going, oh no, I can't see anything. Yeah, so it's kind of, I don't, no idea what's going on next week.
Well, it sounds like it wasn't really like it was kind of task, but not really a full-blown, like, mission task. You know what I mean?
And there also was not, like, there was not as much drama. Just a little, you'll get yours, little man.
And your little dog, too.
Mm-hmm. And you're starting to see how the cliques are playing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn it, Andy, grow some balls and tell Adam to just suck it because the girl's lost.
Yeah. And
leave his homies alone. But he didn't, little bitch bag. Yeah, I called him a bitch bag.
You did.
And then it's crime scene kitchen. It's my blender. I don't know how to
blender.
do. Yeah. See my little knife, and I drew a little chef hat. Yeah.
And her little note and document.
So we have the self-taught chefs meet the classically trained, and they merged. And it was, it's so beautiful. The side-eye and the, who do these people think they are? They don't know a frangipane from a tartantan.
Okay, do you want to know who I wish would be in there? Would be the Jersey people. Because like I said, remember, I got to watch a couple episodes of the season 2 that you're talking about right now. And I finally got, watching and stuff. I haven't caught up yet. I'm getting there. But, oh my God, were they funny.
I told you.
But they were aggravating. They were aggravating. Like, oh, just shut up and make the stuff. Quit fighting.
You could tell that they were going to lose that episode because he was like, what do you want me to make? And she was like, I don't know. Whatever I tell you, you're going to make something different anyway. He's like, fine, just tell me what you want me to make. So, yeah, it was like 5 minutes of them just standing there doing nothing.
Exactly. But could you imagine if they were in the category for this meeting up against the professionals?
No.
Just what their eyes would say, like looking at these professional ones, be like, I'm better than you.
They were like, I don't know who you think you are. I trained at a chef school. And they're like, oh, they're snooty pooty, whatever.
I trained with Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah. Okay.
Ba-ba. So,
safety bake. Ready for your clues?
Give it to me, baby.
All-purpose flour, or if they call APF, grated butter.
Okay.
Used plastic wrap with hash marks. So in the compost bin are some fruit peels.
Okay.
In the bowl on the counter are apples and pears.
Okay.
And in the garbage is a kind of caramelized apple.
Okay.
And in the dishwasher, there's a skillet, and there, on a cake stand, there is some caramel remnants in a circle.
Okay. So, all purpose. That's it? That's
Yep.
all we have in our... They suck at searching for stuff.
Most of them got it, so they did pretty good.
Well, if it's the professional bakers, of course they would.
Meh. So, the self-taught Fadi NT, his name is not Fatty, it's F-A-D-I. It just sounds like when Joel says it, fatty. Like, hey, fat.
Fatty.
And I'm like, that's kind of rude. They made an apple tart tatin.
See, I was going to say a fruit tart, but...
Well, it's made in a skillet, like a cast iron skillet.
Yeah.
And you put your fruit, blah, 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 and the caramelize on the bottom.
Yeah.
And then you put the dough, the rough puff pastry on top.
Yeah.
And then you stick it in the oven. And you don't know if it's going to work until you lift the skillet. So it could go... bleh.
It's a risky business.
It is, because Fadi and T, that's exactly what happened. They did it the first time. It went, bleh, and the apples went all over. They scrambled, and they made another one.
Good. They had enough time.
Yes. Cherry and Steph also made an apple tart tatin. And then Tarsha and Christy, the mother and daughter, same thing. The classic chefs, Camille and Laïsa, the franchise, made an apple tart tatin. Yas and Amber made a pear tart tatin. And Sherry and Sally, the twins with the cat ears, made an apple galette.
Okay.
So, Fadi and T won the safety bake and automatically moved to the quarterfinals. Yay! So then what it was a apple tart tatin with, caramelized apples.
There you go.
Woo!
Fancy.
Now we go to the elimination bake.
It's time for bake.
I guess this one, I was so proud of myself.
All right, give it to me.
Okay. A crepe pan in a dishwasher. I did not know there was such a thing as a crepe pan.
I thought it was just a
skillet. Right.
Yeah,
that's what normies use to make crepes.
Or us poor people.
Yeah. Remnants of pastry cream in a pot.
Okay.
A cake ring in the dishwasher.
Cake ring? Okay.
It's a circle with no top and no bottom. Yeah. Then they had an offset spatula that has chocolate ganache on it.
Okay.
There's also chocolate ganache on a cooling rack. And in the dustpan, there is a note, again with hash marks. And you have 6 groups of 5, which, I don't know about you, 6 times 5, 30.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that. That comes in handy in a little bit. So what do you think it is? Any idea?
Well, so when you talked about the crepe pan,
Mm-hmm.
I imagine they made a bunch of crepes. Talked about the ganache.
Mm-hmm.
The ganache is going in between like a layer. So maybe something layered ganache.
That's where Sherry and Sally are going.
Okay. And obviously you got a cake pan, so it's got to be layered up somewhere, maybe in the cake pan. But you said 30.
I also said that there was pastry cream in the pot.
Could it be like I don't know what you would call it. I don't know what the correct title would be for it. But I'm thinking like a layered cake kind of sense, but with like a cannoli maybe too or something. I don't know. Or they. Not a cannoli. What is it?
Did you want me to just tell you what it was?
No, don't tell me what it was. Tell me what they baked.
I knew this because I saw it on Great British Bake Off.
Of course you did. It's not fair.
It is a crepe cake.
So I was on the right path-ish.
Well, I don't know why you're bringing cannoli into it, you weirdo.
Well, I was thinking maybe like they rolled them up at the top to make some fancy.
You
in between layers, like the ganache.
Make the crepe, you stick it in that ring, boink,
yep.
Put the pastry cream, put your next crepe, wow, pastry cream, crepe.
And then drizzled over the ganache.
That's what the offset spatula tells you, is how high because you're coating it. You're coating your... Nobody freaking used the cake ring. They all looked bajanky, and I told my sister this. I was like, none of them used the cake ring.
Get on them.
It's there for a reason, because
it makes the perfect
tier. The Confectionator 3 bajillion is going to pop up, and there's going to be this beautiful crepe cake with beautiful sides, and all y'all's have crinkly, flanky, janky sides.
Even like the professionals?
Yes.
What's wrong with them?
Dumb shits.
Pay attention.
Right? The self-taught Tarsha and Christy, the mother-daughter.
Yep.
We knew that they made a mistake right off the bat because she said, they had the little numbers on the thing. It was 5 times 6, that's 20. We have 20
layers.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's supposed to be 30. So theirs was short.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Cherry and Steph made a 30-layer crepe cake with a chocolate ganache, except this was their first one. And it was mostly covered, but it looked like they just poured it on and then let it run. So there were chunks
missing and
naked.
Too much.
There were naked parts. No!
Like a naked cake.
The classic chefs, Laisa and Camille, made a 30-layer crepe cake with chocolate ganache covering the entire cake.
Okay.
Except it was
not level.
It was garonky. Drove me nuts. Yes, and Amber made a 30-layer crepe cake with a chocolate ganache drip, and they had the, layers sticking out, the edges. Oh, it drove me nuts.
It's like, make that even.
Yeah.
Like, take a knife and circle around it and make them all pretty and even.
Or
use
the cake ring. Gosh. Now, Sherry and Sally, the entire time, kept saying, what about the 4 plates? There are 4 plates in the dishwasher. That has to mean something. So, they were making their crepe cake.
Okay.
And they started to put, like you, the chocolate ganache between the layers.
Okay.
And then they were like, oh, maybe it's supposed to just coat on the outside and we're just supposed to use the pastry cream. And she's like, okay. So then they got rid of that and then started over. But they ran out of pastry cream.
Uh-oh.
And didn't have enough time to make more.
They should have just, scraped off the ganache and just kept going.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be mine. Because you're going to put the ganache over it anyway. It'll still kind of cover it up.
Kinda. But then they cut 4 slices out of it and put them on the 4 plates. Yeah. There were 4 plates and 4 cups in the dishwasher that were not used. So they were like, these are the clues, but those were not used. And they've done that before where they've had stuff in the dishwasher that wasn't used.
Right.
But they were just
randoms.
They were just locked in on those 4 plates, and I was like, y'all are nuts. So it was 30 crepe filled with velvety cream diplomat and covered with a chocolate ganache. And yeah, so Sherry and Sally were eliminated. And again, nobody used the damn cake ring. You know who did? Everybody on Great British Bake Off. And theirs looked awesome.
It did.
It was beautiful. Beautiful.
I'm ready for next week now.
Me too.
Ready to see who's next up. I just can't believe even the professionals
They didn't use a damn cake ring.
wouldn't use that to make it look perfect. Because I'm sorry, professionals are usually perfectionists at their craft.
And their crepes.
So,
the crepes. The French who should have known to use the crepes. The crepe.
Yes.
Use the crepe cake ring.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I know.
Something wrong with you.
I know. I've also started watching Below Deck Down Under Season 2.
Yes.
I love it so much. I love Aisha. She my girl. And when that new Laura chick starts kind of undermining her, I'm like, oh, don't. Because you coming for Aisha, everybody gonna jump on your ass.
I like watching it. There's a lot of drama that goes on with that show. And you're like, this is just a small freaking... Well, it's not small, but, come on, really? Go stuck in small quarters. I understand how shit can go south real fast, but good Lord.
See, I pick and choose my seasons. This is only the 2nd season of Down Under.
Yeah.
But you meet Aisha, she was on Below Deck Med, which was with Captain Sandy, and I liked her, and I'm glad that she moved on to this one. Oh, did you watch the episode where they're at the bar, and he's like, oh, I think you have an eyelash on your eye, and Margot goes, what? And he's like, close your eyes, and she closed her eyes, and then he kissed her, and she's like, excuse me?
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
You about to get slapped.
That's assault.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Love it, love it, love it. I watch it whenever they post, when people do, small mini clips of it, and they're like, oh, girl, about to get real. Love it. Absolutely love it. So, I would love to have that job. I think it'd be fun. Well, the payout's good.
Yeah, but
I think I could handle the drama. I think I could handle because I'm good at just let it go. It ain't worth it. Walk away.
Girl, you know me. I hold a grudge like a baby sloth holds on to its mommy.
So, There was also something that happened in the news update and
Yes.
stuff that we talked about a little bit, and it was
Through Stars on Mars, when Lance, he was talking about one of his friend was transitioning, and he was asked on a podcast how he felt, and he said he's all for it. Let's make a category for them. And then some of the people,
got
stupid
mad.
crewmates, were like, "That's otherizing people."
But you and I have talked about this before. Yes. Well, during that actual podcast, we talked about it a lot as far as, I mean, even outside the podcast, about making another category just like they would. I went based off Special Olympics, how they have the males and the females playing in the different league and categories. And then they have what's called a unified team where Special Olympians get to play with non-special needs people. And it's a cool thing and stuff like that. So why not do something like that? And it just came out it came out yesterday, right? That they have decided that they were going to have a open category.
For swimming.
So there will be a male category, a female category, and an open category, which I think is absolutely fine. I think it's pretty good. And a lot of people there was some good feedback on Twitter that it made a lot of sense to do this, but I like this person that posted that
not a bad solution. That means the outrage from both sides is about to get dialed up to 11.
Yes, because I see a lot of people saying that, well, I identify as a female, I identify as this, and all that. That's fine. But it's not fair for the people that didn't decide to do that to compete against. They're calling it open. I'd say it's unified, meaning men, women, or whoever you identify as can compete in that category.
Right.
So if a woman decides that they want to go up against a man or a transgender, they can. But let that be the category.
Okay, it says, the debate over transgender athletes has been personified recently by Leah Thomas, the swimmer who had average results in men's competition, but dominated in women's swimming. So now the international governing body for swimming has announced a change. It says will allow transgender swimmers to compete while also preserving integrity in women's swimming. So the World Aquatics announced Tuesday it will create an open category for transgender swimmers. So good on ya.
Yeah.
And I don't want to hear anybody saying, but that just separates people. Well, everybody is separated from everybody anyway.
Right.
You're a man.
You're having a men's category and a women's category. Like you said, it's already separated. You have a unified one, and if all y'all want to compete, there you go. They got to make things so difficult, and I don't understand it. Just make it simple and easy. You do you, boo. I don't care.
Everybody with a dingle goes in that room. Everybody with a chi-chi goes in that room. Mm-hmm. If you have tatas, you go in there. If you don't, you go in there.
Well, I don't know. Some men have tatas.
I don't mean fat man boobies. I mean like
yes,
mammary gland. You can't get milk out of a man. Which brings me to another thing. Yeah. You cannot get milk out of an oat or a nut. So quit calling it oat milk, soy milk, almond milk. It is nut juice. Drink that. Hey, honey, can you pick up some nut juice while you're at the market? Pass me the nut juice to put in my cereal.
Oh, God, woman.
Yeah, because you don't want to drink it. Call it milk. Sure, you'll just guzzle that down, you bunch of morons.
Almond milk. Nut juice.
You're going to go tweak, 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 tweak. You're not going to milk a nut.
You're going to milk a cat?
I'm not milking nothing.
True that.
I don't live on a farm.
Neither do I. So, I guess until next week.
Enjoy your nut juice.
Yeah, enjoy your nut juice. Yeah. We'll have some more Stars on Mars.
Crime Scene Kitchen.
And
probably a really good rant on Mission Impossible. Dead on Arrival piece of garbage. Dead Reckoning. God,
and
so angry.
Whatever else we decide to watch.
Barbie.
Hopefully. Fingers crossed.
I'll tell you alls about the Barbie if you want me to. I cried.
So.
Did I mention I cried? I don't ever cry.
Oh, boy.
I teared. Not a whole lot, but I did.
We'll have all that and more, I guess, next week, huh?
Yes.
All right. Till next time, guys. We'll chat with you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.